Your brain is one of the most complex things in the entire universe. It controls your thoughts, your memories, your movements, and even your emotions. Every time you speak, walk, or make a decision, your brain is working behind the scenes. Yet most people never really think about how it actually works. So what is the brain, and how does it control everything your body does? In simple terms, the brain is the control center of the body. It is an organ located inside your skull, and its main job is to receive information, process it, and send instructions to the rest of your body. The brain is connected to the entire body through a network called the nervous system. You can imagine the nervous system like a huge communication network. The brain acts like the central computer, while nerves act like cables carrying messages back and forth. For example, imagine touching a hot surface. Your skin immediately sends a signal through nerves to your brain. The brain quickly processes the information and sends a command back to your muscles telling your hand to pull away. This process happens in less than a second. The brain is made up of billions of tiny cells called neurons. Neurons are special cells that can send electrical and chemical signals to each other. These signals allow different parts of the brain to communicate. Think of neurons like tiny messengers constantly passing information. Each neuron can connect to thousands of other neurons, creating an incredibly large network. In fact, scientists estimate that the human brain contains around 86 billion neurons. Because of this massive network, the brain can perform extremely complex tasks. Different parts of the brain have different jobs. For example, the cerebrum is responsible for thinking, decision-making, and memory. The cerebellum helps control balance and coordination. The brainstem controls automatic functions like breathing and heartbeat. These parts work together constantly to keep your body functioning. The brain also processes information from your five senses: sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. When you look at something, your eyes send signals to the brain. When you hear a sound, your ears send signals. The brain takes all of this information and combines it so you can understand what is happening around you. For example, if you see a dog barking, your brain combines the image from your eyes and the sound from your ears to understand the situation. Another important function of the brain is memory. Your brain constantly records experiences and stores them so you can remember information later. Some memories last only a few seconds, while others can stay with you for years. Memory allows you to learn new skills, recognize people, and understand the world around you. Even when you are asleep, your brain continues working. During sleep, the brain organizes memories, repairs cells, and prepares your body for the next day. In simple words, the brain is like an incredibly powerful biological computer. It receives information, processes it, and sends instructions that allow your body to move, think, learn, and survive. And despite everything scientists have discovered, the brain still remains one of the most fascinating mysteries in science. To understand how the brain works, it helps to look more closely at how neurons communicate with each other. Neurons send information using tiny electrical signals. When one neuron wants to send a message, the signal travels along the neuron like electricity moving through a wire. At the end of the neuron, the signal reaches a small gap between cells called a synapse. Instead of electricity jumping across the gap, the neuron releases tiny chemical messengers called neurotransmitters. These chemicals travel across the synapse and activate the next neuron. You can imagine it like passing a message across a line of people. One person sends the message, and the next person receives it and passes it along again. This process happens millions of times every second inside your brain. Different neurotransmitters have different roles. Some help control mood, others help with focus, movement, or sleep. For example, certain chemicals in the brain are involved in feelings of happiness, motivation, and calmness. Another amazing ability of the brain is something called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity means the brain can change and adapt over time. When you learn something new or practice a skill, the connections between neurons become stronger. The more you repeat an activity, the stronger these connections become. For example, when someone learns to play the piano, the brain gradually builds stronger neural connections related to finger movements, rhythm, and memory. After enough practice, playing becomes easier because the brain has created efficient pathways for those actions. This ability to adapt is one reason humans can learn new skills throughout life. The brain also plays a major role in emotions. Certain areas deep inside the brain help control how we feel. These areas process experiences and connect them to emotions such as happiness, fear, excitement, or surprise. For example, if you hear a loud, unexpected noise, the brain quickly processes the sound and may trigger a feeling of alarm. This reaction helps the body prepare to respond to possible danger. At the same time, the brain also communicates with the body through hormones and the nervous system. This communication can affect heart rate, breathing, and other physical reactions during emotional situations. Another important function of the brain is decision-making. Every day, the brain constantly evaluates information and chooses what actions to take. Sometimes these decisions happen consciously, like deciding what to eat for lunch. Other decisions happen automatically, such as adjusting your balance while walking. Your brain is always analyzing information from your senses, memories, and current situation to guide your actions. Even when you are resting, the brain remains extremely active. Scientists have discovered that the brain continues processing information, organizing memories, and maintaining important body functions. In fact, although the brain makes up only a small percentage of the body's weight, it uses a large amount of the body's energy. This shows just how active and complex this organ really is. All of these processes, communication between neurons, learning through neuroplasticity, emotional processing, and decision-making, work together constantly. They allow the brain to control everything from simple movements to complex thoughts and ideas. And the more scientists study the brain, the more they realize just how powerful and adaptable this remarkable organ truly is. Another amazing feature of the brain is its ability to learn, remember, and improve over time. From the moment you are born, your brain is constantly collecting information from the world around you. Every sound you hear, every object you see, and every experience you have helps shape how your brain develops. When you learn something new, your brain creates new connections between neurons. These connections form pathways that allow information to travel more easily in the future. The more you practice or repeat something, the stronger those pathways become. For example, think about learning to ride a bicycle. The first time someone tries, it can feel difficult to balance and control the bike. The brain is trying to coordinate many things at once: balance, movement, vision, and reaction. But after practicing many times, riding a bike becomes much easier. This happens because the brain has strengthened the connections between neurons responsible for those movements. Eventually, the skill becomes almost automatic. Memory works in a similar way. The brain stores different types of memories in different areas. Some memories last only a short time, such as remembering a phone number long enough to dial it. Other memories can last for years, like remembering a childhood experience or recognizing a familiar place. Sleep also plays an important role in how the brain works. While the body rests, the brain continues working. During sleep, the brain organizes information collected during the day and strengthens important memories. It also helps remove waste products from brain cells and restore energy for the next day. This is one reason why getting enough sleep is important for learning and concentration. The brain also helps the body stay alive by controlling automatic functions. These include breathing, heartbeat, digestion, and many other processes that happen without conscious effort. For example, you do not need to think about breathing every second. The brain automatically manages that process through the brainstem. This allows your body to keep functioning even when your mind is focused on other tasks. Scientists are still discovering new things about the brain every year. Even with modern technology, there is still a lot we do not fully understand about how thoughts, creativity, and consciousness work. What scientists do know is that the human brain is incredibly powerful. It allows people to learn languages, solve problems, create art, invent technology, and explore the universe. In simple words, the brain is like a superpowered control center for the entire body. It receives information, processes it, stores memories, controls movement, and helps you understand the world around you. Every thought you have, every skill you learn, and every decision you make is connected to the incredible work happening inside this small but extremely complex organ.